Hello, Nev here, and today on Man Can Cook, I have a bread recipe for you. So bread is something that people often miss when they change their diet to LCHF or keto when they're trying to lower their carbohydrates. Now this is a Thermomix version of this bread recipe, but don't worry if you don't have a Thermomix. I'll post a link up here to a non-Thermomix version of this bread. It just has a different topping, so make sure that you have a look in the description of this video for the topping ingredients. So this is my flavors of Greece focaccia bread. Begin by preheating your oven to 200 degrees Celsius or about 390 degrees Fahrenheit. And as always, I'll post a link to the recipe in the description of this video. So place a jug on the lid of your Thermomix and bring up the scales. And then weigh in 400 grams of water. And to this add 3 eggs and 2 tablespoons of a light flavoured oil. So I'm using a light flavoured olive oil. You could use something like avocado as well. And then just mix this together well and set it aside. Then place 60 grams of psyllium husks into the Thermomix bowl. And we're just going to grind this for 1 minute until it's a nice fine powder on speed 10. You can buy already pre-ground psyllium powder, but depending on the brand, it can actually make your bread that you're making turn a weird purple colour. So it still tastes the same, but it's just a bit of a weird eating experience. Then we're going to weigh in all of the other ingredients, so just make sure that you remember to tare your scales between each ingredient. So to the psyllium husk powder, we're going to add 80 grams of coconut flour, 30 grams of chia seeds, 25 grams of linseeds, 25 grams of sesame seeds, 25 grams of pepitas, or pumpkin seeds, 20 grams of sunflower seeds, 4 level teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And then this is just going to be combined for 10 seconds on speed 6. Add the previously mixed wet ingredients and mix this for 15 seconds on speed 7. And here is the finished dough. Working fairly quickly from this point, just turn out the dough onto a piece of baking paper. And with wet hands, you're going to flatten this out into whatever shape you want, till it's around a ½ centimetre thick. And then for the topping, I've got 60 grams of Kalamata olives, just pitted and cut up fairly small, 100 grams of Feta cheese, again cut up fairly small, and then just space those out pretty evenly over the top of the bread. And squash them down a little bit into the bread as well. And then I'm going to finally add 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. And this goes into the preheated oven for about ½ an hour. You'll know it's done when the bread springs back to the touch. After ½ an hour of cooking, your focaccia will look something like this. It's nice and golden, and it also springs back to the touch. I'd recommend letting this cool in the oven for about 10 minutes before taking it out of the oven and putting it on a wire rack to help it dry out. So sometimes it can get a little bit moist in the middle, so putting it on the wire rack after it comes out of the oven really helps it to dry out. You could drizzle some olive oil over the top of this and add salt if you liked, or just eat it like this. It's got a really good bread-like texture. So tasty. This is such a delicious low-carb alternative to a traditional bread or focaccia. And I bet you if you make this for, say, friends or family who may not be low-carb, they won't even know that this is a low-carb bread. It's also a great bread to pack for your child's lunch because there's no nuts, there's no allergy issues at all taking it to school. Please click like if you like my video, and I'd love you to subscribe. And if you do subscribe, make sure you click on the notifications button so that you get notified whenever I upload a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.